Welcome to DK Live here at Radio Row in Mall of America. I'm Katie Emmer, joined alongside Ron Johnson, former NFL receiver. It's an honor to have you here today.
Hey, good to be
Thanks
here.
for coming. It took a lot of negotiating to get you over here.
Yeah, it was tough.
I've
never actually seen you dressed up, though.
Oh, wow.
Like hair done, makeup
Thanks,
done.
Ron.
I'm used to the early morning fantasy football show with just Katie just got out of bed. So.
Yeah, so we did work on a fantasy football show this past
Buffalo
few
Wild
months.
Wings.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to bring you on today to talk some fantasy. But first and foremost, how are you enjoying your Super Bowl 52? You didn't have to travel far.
No, I traveled about 22 minutes. So from Chanhassen, it's cool though. I mean, I get to see a bunch of guys that I played with back in the day. We're all old now, except for Tom Brady. He's still going strong, and Josh McCown. But it's been fun to see old friends and teammates and
Family
guys.
reunion.
Yeah, and you know it's -2 degrees, but I think the friendship warms it up.
Oh, that was so good. I see what you did there. Who are a couple of your favorites, other than Spice Adams, of course, that you've seen so far?
Well, I mean, you know, Spice. I got a chance to just talk to Jared Allen real quick. Hadn't seen him since he did Vikings Game Day Live with us on Fox. I mean, guys I see all the time, but, you know, Brian Westbrook and I, we were on the same draft class and the same trip to L.A. Got a chance to see Ray Lewis last night, so we were teammates with the Ravens for 3 years. So seeing Ray was
good stuff.
Was a lot of fun just because he's the same person he was. I mean, no matter what he's doing, he could be talking to you about stocks and bonds, but he has like a football type of like conversation. Because we were talking money last night and cryptocurrency.
And then you're talking
and
math,
he's talking about,
everything.
he's definitely, he has not changed, which is good to see.
Good stuff. Back to this fantasy show. Yeah. I don't think I ever asked you, but do you play fantasy sports?
I did not. I did before. I did last year. I didn't this year because of my work with. No, we weren't allowed to. They didn't change that rule until like I don't remember when, 2008 maybe.
Okay.
But we weren't allowed to do it back then because they thought you could fake a game and screw up a game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of money on the line sometimes, so they don't want guys. But now I think they realize it's not. You can't really affect a game.
Yeah.
You could, but it's not worth it in the long run. The Super Bowl is a lot more important than just winning a fantasy game that week.
Yeah, true.
But I know there was an old I had a conversation with Maurice Jones-Drew one time, and him and Mercedes Lewis were playing against each other in fantasy, and he had himself, and he was going against, and Mercedes Lewis was like, hey, if I let this guy come tackle you, I think I win today.
Oh, my God.
And so it was one of those, like, and Maurice Jones was like, dude, do not do that. Like,
you never hear about this?
Yeah, so it's one of those things where that's the stuff people don't want. He didn't do it. He didn't blow the block.
Yeah.
But if he had, and the guy tackled Maurice Jones-Drew, he wouldn't have scored, and then Mercedes Lewis would have beat him in fantasy that week. So that's one of those things where they have to be careful with guys in fantasy football is making it not too serious that you screw a game over just to win your fantasy game that week.
Okay, well, you're really good at this stuff because you always give advice to fantasy owners and all of that.
I'm a good guesser.
You're a good
guesser,
well. Yeah. Give me 3 receivers that you would put on your fantasy roster today that are active in the NFL.
Oh, easy. Antonio Brown, Adam Thielen, and DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins, yeah, Adam Thielen.
That's
Adam Thielen gets a lot of throws his way. He doesn't score as many touchdowns. But you look at DeAndre Hopkins, when he gets his quarterback back in Deshaun Watson, they were lights out. I mean, 4 touchdowns, opportunities in games. I mean, he was the most targeted red zone receiver. So when you look at guys like that, I look at the guys with the most targets. Adam Thielen was a top 10 targeted receiver, Antonio Brown, and DeAndre Hopkins.
A dark horse. Picks.
Yeah, dark horse, though, would be Nelson Aguilar.
Okay.
I liked him because of the Alshon Jeffrey and Ertz combination where they're always going to be targeted.
Yeah.
All of a sudden. And then Marshawn Lattimore gave me a good tip. The reason why Stephon Diggs was so open was because he knew he had to shut down Adam Thielen. So that's things you need to look at, too. Guys like that. So he was trying to shut down the #1 receiver, which left Stephon Diggs with the #2 cornerback.
Okay.
And then the Minneapolis Miracle is what it is now.
Look at that insight, you guys. You just got all the background info. Last question, really quick. What is your Super Bowl 52 projection?
You know what? Ray told me last night he picked the Eagles. I like the Eagles' defense, but I'm going to have to go Patriots like 28-21.
Okay.
I just think the Patriots, I mean, it's Tom Brady. You can't bet against Tom Brady.
Yeah.
The only thing that can beat Tom right now is time.
All right.
And so that's it.
We'll have to see Patriots. And where can people find you?
3 Ron Johnson on Twitter, of course, and then 3 Ron Johnson on Instagram. But yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your week. You're not going very far.
No, I'm not going far.
And you know how to stay warm here in Minneapolis.
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph went ice fishing, and Bernard Berrien, one of my former teammates, and I was like, no, I'm good.
You're good. I'm going to stick inside Mall of America.
Never going to do it. Never have done it. Yeah, it doesn't look fun.
Thanks again, Ron, for joining us here on DK Live.